Namaste and welcome to our second week into Simplicity Training for Inner Peace. Today we have a beautiful relaxation practice for you. It is a practice that is so needed in our lives. We often neglect our relaxing practices. We usually put them at the bottom of our to-do list. We, sometimes think, hey, if I have that hour, I should do that workout rather than a work in. And the more and more you start working with relaxation, the more you'll realize how truly beneficial and how much we truly need this in our day and age. If we are a busy modern human going from one place to the next, you'll probably find that when you start slowing down, you get really tired and really sleepy. These are sure signs that you maybe are running kind of on exhaustion mode. We should be able to consciously be relaxed without having to fall asleep or feel sleepy. So this is a great practice that will help you with that. It will help you get acquainted with slowing down and quieting the mind, because sometimes that's hard for us to do and hard for us to get comfortable with. So make sure you do this practice at least once or twice a week. You don't need any props, although today I have with me 2 pillows just off the bed and 2 blocks. These can come in handy for some of our practices that we'll do, but if you don't have anything, that's okay. You don't need them. All right, so let's get centered. We'll sit up nice and tall. Okay. Close your eyes. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones, and if you have a hard time sitting cross-legged, remember that any comfortable position for you that is seated with your head and heart and pelvis in alignment is just fine. So we just want a straight spine here. Close our eyes and start to take a few longer, deeper breaths here. And just like in our foundations practice, we can start with that 1:2 breath. So inhaling fully through the nose and exhaling, trying to double the length of the exhale compared to the inhale. You can inhale nose, exhale mouth. And on those exhalations, really letting go of any stress, tension, or worries here at all. Sometimes when we close our eyes and try to slow down the mind seems to race even faster. So give yourself some time. Just imagine like you're driving on the freeway, you take your exit, you get onto a quieter street, until you reach your driveway. You have to shift it down to get there and slow down until we're eventually at home. So we want to take that time from external to internal, downshift, get calm and relaxed so that we can feel completely comfortable in our bodies, completely at home and at peace. Letting go of any guards we put up and being here in the heart. Excellent. We'll bring our hands to our hearts. We'll do the Guru invocation for practice, giving thanks to all of the masters and teachers who passed down the beautiful tradition of yoga to us tonight. So we'll take a deep breath in. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri deep breath in. Exhale all your breath out. And once again, just rub the hands together, create some heat in your palms. Place your hands over your eyes, and we'll take a deep breath in here. And then just sighing out. Release any tension from your day. One more time. Imagining that this tension is just seeping out from your eyes into your hands. Letting that go. Good. And then feel free to massage anywhere that feels good. Your neck and shoulders. Rub your eyes. Whatever feels good for you here. And then rest your hands over your heart. One more deep breath in to connect. And exhale to let that go. And I welcome you to now come down onto your backs. So we're going to lay down onto our mats here. And we're going to bend our knees, take our feet as wide as our mat, and then allow the knees to kind of knock in towards one another. Okay? Bring one hand onto your belly and the other hand over your heart. And we're just going to begin by breathing deeply and fully, grounding down from our day. Or if you're just starting this practice, starting your morning with this practice rather, then just starting in that place of calmness and clarity, so that you may enter your day mindfully and present for yourself. So just feeling the breath moving into the belly and the chest. You can keep your eyes closed here. Just keep your eyes about 1/10 open, gazing up at the ceiling. Feeling relaxed and calm. And allowing the mind to slow down. We start to shift gears and be totally present and calm in our bodies. Now we're just going to extend our arms out and then up over our heads. Give a big stretch here. If it feels good, you can interlace your fingers and just push your hands forward. Good. And then release your hands just down by your sides. And we're going to windshield wiper our knees, drawing one knee in and then the other knee out. And then the other one in and out. So you're just mobilizing the low back, the hips, and it feels really nice to have that massage for the back. That's it. Good, and then come back through the center, and we're going to draw our knees in towards our chest. Okay. And then just rock either side to side. Okay. Or make circles with your knees. Whatever feels good to release the tension in the low back. Ideally, we want to keep the back of the neck long. And if you're doing circles, make sure you go the other way too. Okay, enjoy. Letting out any sighs or any little noises that our bodies naturally make to release tension. All right, pulling in that right knee now and just extending that left foot down and long. So I'm pushing out the left heel, drawing the right knee in towards the right armpit area, and breathing all along that inner line from the inner heel all the way through the spine and up through the crown of the head. Okay, getting long with every inhale Pulling the knee in with every exhale. And want to breathe into our belly here. Apana-asana. This is a good one to kind of get our digestive system going. Any of our excretory functions. Good. And before we move on to the next leg, we're going to do a few other exercises here. So we'll release the hands down to the floor. Keep the knee up. And we're just going to draw big circles here with that right leg. Okay. Doing these hip circles to warm up and release any tightness in the hip flexors. Okay. Now once you went one way, start going the other direction. Again, this is where you will hear all the weird noises in your hips. It's okay, it's just the ligaments and tendons. Okay. I don't know if the mic can pick up, my hip is going pop, pop, pop. Good, and then bringing that knee back in. And then we're gonna hold underneath the knee, behind the knee, or underneath the leg, behind the leg, or up to your calf, or maybe some of us will be reaching up to our toes. So wherever you're feeling comfortable, you don't have to push yourself too far or too hard. Remember, this practice is about relaxing, okay? If you get any low back pain at all, keep this left knee bent and the sole of the foot on the floor. Good. Keep breathing here. And then we'll just take the arms wide and we'll guide that right leg all the way over and down towards the left. Now this is going to twist me and it's going to take up my right shoulder a little bit. I'm a little tight and stiff in this right side today. It's okay. Look out over the right side. Breathe. If your low back gets sore, then just don't take it as far, and you can always keep that knee bent if you'd like. More of a simple spinal twist. Okay. Bringing it back to center. Relax your right leg down, and let's repeat on the left side. So we're going to gently draw that left knee in, Apana-asana, first posture, pushing out through that right heel, lengthening along the spine, and then hugging the left knee in towards the left armpit region. Gentle breaths into the belly. With every exhale, relax even more. Close your eyes, get comfortable in your body. We want to invoke that feeling of coming home after the end of a long day and just being able to plunk down, drop your coat, relax, drop your guards, let yourself just be. Good, and then releasing the arms down, we're going to circle out this left leg. Okay, so like I said, this practice can be done anytime you need it. If you had a particularly stressful day, if you struggle with sleeping, this would be a great before bedtime practice. Or if you want to get grounded for the day ahead in the morning, wonderful practice. Okay. Going the other way with your leg if you haven't switched yet. Good, and then we'll hug the knee in. And then reach behind the leg, straighten your left leg up. Now, you might not be able to do that. You might have a bend in your knee. That's okay. You're still lengthening that hamstring and getting a stretch there. So just take it at your own pace. Right leg can be bent, remember. Good. And then we'll take it into the twist. So we'll just draw that right leg across. Left arm stretches out and looking out over the left arm. You want to keep the palm open usually to stretch that pec. Either way, palm open or palm down, but I like palm open. Good. All right, bringing now the legs back to center. Hug both the knees in. Okay. And sometimes it's not so easy to get your knees right into your chest, so just pulling them in as tight as you can. You can either wrap your hands around the shins or behind your legs. Okay. And then now we're just gonna rock a little bit. So reach behind your legs, just make sure it feels comfortable. We're gonna rock up and back. If it feels good, you can bring your feet right over your head. Take it easy. It takes a lot of flexibility in your neck. And then on this next one, we're gonna roll all the way up to seated. Finding that comfortable seat again. Okay, and we'll come into a few stretches here. So first thing we're gonna do is inhale and reach the arms up. And then on our exhale, we're gonna fold forward. The hands are just gonna cross behind us, resting on our low back, and we're gonna drop the head down. And inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, coming forward and down. So letting the breath guide you, we're moving slowly, mindfully. Enjoying your practice. And don't rush yourself. Never rush yourself. That's it. And then lastly, inhaling up, we're going to interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the sky. Try to straighten your elbows. Good. Breathing into the rib cage. And you can close your eyes and try to go inward. Or if you have a difficult time with closing your eyes, just keep your gaze open just a teeny bit, maybe 1/10 open. Good, and then let's just take the hand down to the right. So the right hand's gonna come down, walk it a little further away from you, drop into your left hip as you stretch over and across the body. Nice side bend stretch. And then bring it back up through center, lifting both arms. And then exhaling over to your left. And that right hip's just gonna drop down. Keep breathing. If your legs get sleepy here, a lot of the times your legs fall asleep in cross-legged position. Remember, you can be sitting up onto something like a pillow underneath your hips, or just stretch your legs out in front of you. It's no problem. Just make this work for you. Inhale the hands back up. And we're going to start making some nice circles here. So you're going to exhale and squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening your chest. On your inhale, pushing forward. Open your chest, exhale, squeeze shoulder blades. Inhale, almost rounding as you come forward. Exhaling, opening it up. Be with your breath. Two more. Good. Starting to feel those shoulders and rotator cuff opening up. Good, and then just resting the hands down behind you so you can lean back into your hands. Try to draw the shoulders instead of coming up towards your ears. Push down, lift your chest, draw the shoulders away and down towards the floor. And you can rest here, lifting up your chest, lifting up your chin towards the sky, a little heart opener. Or if you'd like, you can pop up onto your knees. You're going to lift your hips up off the floor. Try to draw your knees down. Send your head back. Inhaling. And coming down, exhaling. Good, excellent. Now, sitting up on your sit bones again, we're just going to take our hands to our knees and slowly take some big circles here. That's it. We'll feel this one in our low back and our hips. hips, maybe even our glutes. We're working on releasing tension in the body. Moving slowly so that we start to get used to slowing down. Good. And then go the other direction. Okay. Anytime you feel your mind kind of moving towards thinking about what you got to do today or what you're doing tomorrow or that shopping list or whatever, try to bring your mind to your breath and to this moment. Good, and then come back through neutral spine. Hold on to your shins. We're going to do a seated cat to cow. So on our exhales, we're going to round and inhale, arch and lift the chest. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, arch and lift. Keep moving with your breath. Feeling that wave-like movement in the spine. Releasing any tension that builds up in the spine in any of these areas. Good. Beautiful. Now we're going to extend the right leg out. Okay. Left leg's going to stay in towards the groin. And we're just going to do a little flow here. So the right hand's going to be kind of near my knee, and we're going to be sliding down as the left hand lifts up. So take the left hand up to the sky. We're going to inhale on the top, and then exhale, just kind of gliding down and opening the chest. Look up to your hand. Inhale, sliding back up, lengthening the spine, lengthening the hand up, and then exhaling, coming down to that side bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale in the side bend. And one more, up. And then exhaling, coming down. Good, we're gonna hold here. Keep trying to open up through the rib cage. So you're rotating the rib cage back, lifting your chest towards more the ceiling, as if your heart could smile up at the ceiling. And then inhale, come up with that left hand. Take the left hand behind you. Now we're gonna move into a little back bend. So you're gonna take your right hand behind over to your right side like you're karate chopping the air. And then as you inhale, we're going to put weight onto our left knee, left hand, and lift our hips. Point the right toes down, little back bend, and then exhaling, coming down. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale and lower. Good, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, inhale, up and open. And then exhale, sink it back down. And let's switch sides. So we'll bring that right foot in, left leg out. Okay, good. Now, same thing, the right arm's gonna reach up to the sky. On the inhale, we're lengthening. On the exhale, we're gliding down the leg. Inhaling up. Exhale, gliding down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, gliding down. 2 more. Last one, reaching up. And then as we come down, we're just going to hold it a couple extra seconds, a couple more breaths. Staying in that side stretch. For 3, for 2, for 1. And then rise up on your inhale. And take your right hand behind you on your exhale. So same thing over to the left side. We're going to karate chop that arm back to the left. Then we're going to inhale, lift our hips, arch our backs, open up into the back bend, and lowering, exhale. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, lower it down. 3 more. Good, and then this last one. Inhale up. And then exhale, lower down. And relax. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together now. Okay, make sure you're on your sit bones. Now, for some of us, we might hold on to our ankles, or we can interlace our hands and just slide them underneath our feet. Okay? Now, we're going to really work on here lifting up nice and tall. So lengthening your spine, pull the shoulders back, heart drawing through. And we might just stay here, dropping the knees down. Or we might actually hinge from the waist, slowly come forward with a nice flat back. So I'll show you from the side. So try not to go like this. Try not to round like in our cat-to-cow. Try to keep it nice and lifted and slowly come down from the low back. You might end up pushing into your legs a little bit, just kind of helping facilitate that stretch in the inner thighs. Often this area is very, very tight, so don't fight yourself here. Remember, we're doing a relaxation practice, so get that competition out of your mind. Get the idea that you have to, splat your face on the floor out of your head. This is not why we practice yoga. Yoga is a science of self-transformation and change so that we can live a simpler, happier, more in tune with life. From here, bring your knees together. We're going to just wrap our arms around our legs. Okay? And we're going to drop in, and we're just going to take a little moment here to breathe. So you can let the whole back round. So you can drop your forehead down and in towards your legs. And you'll be breathing all along the spine. Okay? The belly will definitely be compressing into your legs. And if you need to accommodate your belly, you might be a little wider. You might have your feet out wider. You might not be holding your elbows at all. You might be holding your fingers or wrists. Wherever you are is perfect. And this represents the seed. It's called the seed pose. The seed represents our inner potential. We have the potential to grow and blossom into whatever it is we would like to manifest in our lives. So just remembering that symbology as we practice, and symbolism as we practice. Sometimes I like to make up words, so you got them, their symbology. Just breathe. And then we'll take the hands behind us. And we'll let our knees move side to side. So kind of like the windshield wipers, except this time our feet and knees are actually together. We'll release a little bit more into our lower back. And our glutes get a nice little massage here. Good, and then coming back now over onto all fours. So I'm going to come this way. We're going to do some more cat-to-cow movements. Okay, this time hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, hip distance apart. And we'll inhale, arch the back, look up. And then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. 2 more times. Good. And then coming back to the neutral spine. And we're going to come up into downward dog. So curl the toes, lift the hips, push your thighs back, Draw your head between your arms, soft neck, and start to pedal out the feet. So bending one knee and then the other. And you can even draw kind of the knee across the midline, sort of twisting a little bit through the hips. One way and then the other. Good. And then just coming back into your regular downward dog. So remember, your heels might not be touching the floor. And I'd rather you not walk closer and kind of cheat so your heels could touch the floor. I'd rather you stay back in that position where you could come forward and be in a plank with your shoulders over your wrists. And then come back up into downward dog. So that's about the length you want to be in. So you can just double check that anytime you want. Moving through plank. And if you didn't have to shift your hands or feet, then you're in a good position. That being said, there are some people who might need to go a little shorter. So you just see what works good for you. Okay. On this next one, we're going to walk our hands a little closer. Okay. And then we're going to bring the left hand to the right outer shin, and we're just going to turn up underneath us. Now, if that's not going to happen today, remember you can also have bent knees to do this. But still, if you're reaching, it's not going to reach, then another suggestion I would say is come back closer and then just twist, keeping your left hand down, right hand up towards the sky. Okay? So whichever variation you want to do. Good. And then switch it out. Left hand back into that downward dog position. Right hand to the left outer shin and just twist. So you can use that arm as leverage. Bend the right elbow. Twist up through the left armpit area, rib cage area. Look out underneath your armpit. And then downward facing dog. You take breaks anytime you need to. Walk forward, kind of hands towards feet, feet towards hands. And we're just going to hang. So let your neck go, shoulders relax, head relax. Keep exhaling here. And if you need to, keep your knees bent and soft. 5 more exhalations. Remember, the exhalation is directly related to letting go, so we focus on exhalation, especially in a class that is for relaxation and stress reduction. Remember, you can shake out your neck. The longer we hold here and the deeper we exhale, we start to feel decompression in the spine. You might come down a little lower. Good. And then from here, we're going to turn to the long edge of our mats. And then we're just going to take our knees out a little wider until we're into something called frog position. Okay? So we are going to walk our knees out, and sometimes this isn't the most comfortable position for everyone. So you might decide to take your mat and double pat it in on each side. Okay? My mat's pretty thick, it feels pretty good, so I'm going to stay here. Okay, now ideally you're trying to turn your toes out and bring the toes in line with your knees. But again, sometimes that doesn't happen. You might have your feet kind of drawing together like a child's pose. It might feel better for you. Okay, so here we can stay here. We're trying to, again, relax your jaw, soften your groin area. You can always come lower if that's comfortable as well. So it's a really nice inner thigh groin stretch. Just try to stay with your breath. Okay. If it feels like, ooh, too much, then you pull out. Okay. Really try to soften as much as you can. so that we're sending signals to the mind that, hey, we're okay, we don't need to panic, we're breathing, we're good. And how that works to translate off the mat is when we start to feel stress, like say your boss walks into your office and starts kind of getting on your case about something, and you start to feel that stress and anxiety and tension and everything building within you, then you'll remember through your yogic practices, hey, I can breathe, I can calm myself through this. And then of course that relates to how we respond, to choose our response wisely, and all those things. So the practice we do on our mat is a beautiful way to train for real life situations. Good, and then walk your hands in, walk your knees in. Ooh, I know that can be tight. And we're just gonna do 2 stretches here. The first one is, we're just gonna push our hips out to the side. So just kind of stretch it out to the side. So my shoulders are still where they were, just kind of pushing out. This will stretch your IT band, this muscle is called tensor fasciae latae, and your glute medius. Okay, and then go the other direction. Good, and then sit back onto your knees. We're gonna do another side bend. We're gonna drop our hips over to the right. Let the feet just be together on the left side of your hips, okay? And then we're going to side bend to the left, so that left hip's really dropping down. Right arm's coming over and across. Okay, breathing here. Slowly release this side, come to the other side. So feet down over to one side, down onto that outer hip, and moving opposite the way where the hip is down. Okay. Feels so good, these nice big side bends. And then come back, and we're going to come down onto our bellies. I'm going to show you this way so you can see what's happening with the arms. This is a really amazing and a little bit intense pec minor stretch, okay? So your right hand's going to come down, and you want the elbow in line with your shoulder, okay? I'll show you from this angle too, okay? So that right arm's in line with the shoulder, okay? You can rest down onto your head if that's comfortable. You're going to take your left leg up and then just bring it around. Okay, so you're really feeling that stretch in the right pec area. Left hand's just there for support. You can even walk your elbow out a little further from the shoulder. Good, and then gently come back and do it on the other side. So that left elbow is at a 90-degree angle from the upper arm to lower arm. Come up onto your right fingertips and turn your head onto your left cheek. That right leg can come up and over. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently come back through the center. Okay, we're just going to do a gentle back bend. We'll take our elbows underneath our shoulders, palms facing down in front of us. We're going to do Sphinx pose. So we're trying to draw the shoulders back and down. Push the shoulders down towards the floor as you lengthen through your neck. Just look neutrally, look forward, and then trying to pull from the pubic bone area. Pubic bone is dropping down onto the mat, grounding down, and then trying to draw the navel forward, the chest and sternum forward, the heart forward, and the shoulder heads are drawing back. Just breathe here. Okay, sometimes it can be a little intense for our shoulders. If you need to take a break, just come down and rest on your forehead. Okay, and then we'll all gently come down. So you're going to just stack your hands one on top of the other. Make a little pillow for your forehead. And breathe here into your belly. As you breathe into your belly, you'll start to feel the low back, mid back, upper back rise and fall. And from here, slide your right knee up so you're in like that position you were in for frog, except we're laying down, and you can turn your head to one side if it feels good. It's a very passive stretch for our hip flexor and inner thigh. It's actually one of the postures where our iliopsoas muscle gets a little rest. That and CRP, constructive rest pose, which I will show you at the end of our practice today. So keep softening into your belly as you breathe here. Such a gift to give us this time to nurture, to relax. Okay, and then move to the other side. Bend that left knee. Relax on the other cheek. Breathe into the low part of the belly. And then just send your left leg back. We're going to roll over onto our right side. So just extend your right arm in front. Roll so that you're resting your head on your bicep. Okay. And then just reach behind. We're going to try to grab our foot for a quad stretch. Okay. Ideally, we're trying to drop the knees towards one another and then just pull back, trying to bring your heel towards your buttocks. Nice stretch in your quadricep muscle. Okay, I find this is a more accessible way to stretch your quad than some of the other postures. Come back and over onto your left side. Extend that left arm out. Just rest your head on your bicep. Grab a hold of your right thigh. Pull it back. Pull it back. Relax. Good, and then we'll relax down and just roll over onto your back now. We're going to do one of my favorite variations for bridge pose. It's called the moving bridge pose. So the arms are going to be alongside your body, feet are grounded, and as we inhale, we're going to lift the hips, arms overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower down vertebrae by vertebrae on the exhalation. So at the end of the exhalation, Hips and hands touch down, we relax. And then start your inhalation again. At the top of the inhale, hands reach overhead and hips lift at their highest. And exhaling, lowering hips and hands slowly, slowly. Okay. Let's do 3 more. Really mindful with your breath. That's it. Last one, lift up. And exhale, lowering it down. Good. Now you can draw the soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can stay here. If you have props, you might take a blanket behind you, or a bolster or a pillow underneath you. I'm going to use both of mine. I'm going to take my blocks for underneath my knees. So I want to just kind of make sure that the pillows are kind of at the low back. We're not sitting on them. And then we naturally can just open up here. Arms nice and wide, knees nice and wide. Supine butterfly pose. Go ahead and just breathe here. We're coming to the end of our practice, so we want to start now thinking about dropping the effort. Trying to use as minimal effort as possible. So just letting the position hold itself through the use of props or through the use of gravity. If you're just on the floor doing this, no problem. Try to find the path of least resistance. If you need to extend your legs longer, if your groin is sore, then straighten your legs. When I'm short on time, but I need a de-stressing practice, I go to 2 or 3 poses, this being one of them, the standing forward fold being one of them, and our next pose that we'll be doing, the constructive rest pose, being one of them. So just a couple more breaths here. Sometimes we don't always have an hour to practice. That's okay. You can take some of the postures and make it a shorter class if you need to some days. Gotta do what we gotta do from time to time. Gently draw the knees together. Sometimes we need to use our hands to kind of help that happen. Okay. We'll sit up for a second. We'll take out these pillows. And now, constructive rest pose works really well with having something underneath your knees. Okay. Or you could even flip your legs up your couch or a chair. Okay. So here we go. I have the blocks underneath, legs on top, and I'm just gonna let my legs completely relax. What happens in CRP is there's this muscle called iliopsoas. That muscle runs from kind of mid-back through your body and attaches on to the thigh bone, okay? So this muscle is what makes us bipedal, which makes us stand upright, okay? And it is so linked to our nervous system. It is our muscle of movement. So if we're constantly busy, if we're constantly on the go, or even if our mind is just on the go and we're not sitting there, the muscle fibers will actually tense, okay? Anytime we get stressed or worried, they tense. So this is one of the only anatomical positions that release this psoas muscle, okay? So try to focus on this hip flexor muscle. You'll feel it the most here, kind of just inside of the hip bones, okay? And try to soften that area. So basically, if you think soften low belly and pelvic floor, you're good to go. Arms can come out a little bit away from you, palms facing up. And we're going to start a breathing practice called full yogic breath, or Dirga Pranayama, where we're going to focus on breathing into our bellies, then our rib cage, then our chests, and then exhaling chest, rib cage, belly. So inhale, belly, rib cage, chest, exhaling chest, rib cage, belly. Keep going on your own. One of the best breaths to work on relaxing the nervous system. Very important to learn how to breathe. In week 3, we investigate the breath. We'll see and we'll learn more. As we do our full yogic breath, we're now going to introduce an affirmation. So every time we inhale, we just draw that breath in. And every time we exhale, we're going to say in the mind, I am safe and relaxed. I am safe and relaxed. I am safe and relaxed. As we learn from our lecture this week, affirmation is so important. We need to rewire the way we think. Affirmations plant a new thought belief within you, and the more and more we say it, we water them, we nurture that seed, the plant grows. I am safe and relaxed. Whole body calm. Whole body centered. I invite you to stay here as long as you want, or take this as its own practice. You can just come into CRP and do your breathing anytime, 5-10 minutes, whatever you got time for. Okay, if you're coming out with me now, we'll gently roll to one side. Just cradle your head in your arms. And when you're ready, come back up to seated. And we'll close our practice together, drawing our hands to our hearts. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.